Hello boys and girls, my name's Tom and this is the Safehouse Podcast. I am joined as per by my good friend and co-host James Pickard.
Hello.
As well as comedian and Twitter person Alex Watts.
It's a pleasure to be here, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, first off, how's everyone doing?
Okay.
Yeah?
I think.
Mustn't grumble?
It's Saturday.
It is a Saturday.
That's a good day.
It won't be a Saturday when the podcast goes up. It'll be a Monday, which means everyone's going to be super sad that we still have a weekend ahead of us and you guys don't.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But yeah, so X-Files trailer happened. How excited are we collectively? Because it should be quite. Because I like the X-Files.
I have seen 2 episodes.
Really? That is
the first 2.
shocking.
I know.
Mate, I grew up on X-Files.
It was on Netflix for a while and then they took it off.
Oh, grim.
I can remember one episode of the X-Files.
What are you doing to me?
Sorry. Upsetting you, that's what
Yeah, which episode was it?
It is the black and white one that's like a pastiche of classic monster movies.
Such a good episode, though.
Good one to remember then.
Yeah. My favourite episode, there was one with Tony Shalhoub in it, the guy who was Monk. And he was the alien in Men in Black who got his head exploded.
Yes.
He plays a guy whose shadow kills people. And it's like if anyone touches his shadow, they just evaporate. And it is the coolest episode. And it's all about them trying to find him and he's inadvertently killing people. He doesn't mean to kill them. But he ends up trying to live in places with consistent lighting, so train stations and stuff. So it's all soft lit, so there's no shadows, and it's a really, really good episode. And now we're getting some more of it, which is good because the first film was terrible. The first X-Files the movie, that's just a giant waste of time.
Was that the one with Billy Connolly?
No, that was the second one, which was X-Files I Want to Believe.
Was the first one the one with the bees? Were there bees in it?
There were bees.
The bee conspiracy theory.
Bees make aliens happen, and then there were some weird jelly clone people. It wasn't great. But then I Want to Believe happened. Sort of split the community a little bit because I really liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a bit more it was basically a 2-hour episode of X-Files, which is sort of what I wanted from an X-Files film. And then obviously you had Billy Connolly. You had that really weird cast of what if we got Exhibit to play a SWAT team detective and then we got Billy Connolly to be a paedophile? And I was alright, fine. But I really like that film. And so, yeah, we've seen the new trailer. We've got Smoking Man teased. We've got bloody the head FBI guy is back. And whose name I've forgotten because it has been a while since I've watched X-Files.
I recognised him entirely because he's also the voice of a character in Planescape Torment.
Right.
That's where my mind went.
Brilliant.
It's a weird and disorganised
first
mind.
place to go to, yeah.
Planescape Torment, going off on track
tangent
as we do,
yeah,
is a game I've tried to get into about 5 times, and I always get to the first big town, and then I just can't wrap my head around how much is in that game.
have never seen or heard of it. What is this?
It's like an old school RPG thing, kind of like Divinity, but it's real time.
Okay, cool.
And I think it was Black Isle or one of those guys.
Yeah, Black Isle or BioWare, the big Baldur's Gate people.
A good sign.
Is that era of classic CRPGs.
That's cool.
And apparently it's one of the... I think Chris Avellone was involved in it.
Oh, well, if Chris Avellone was involved...
He probably wrote it, I think. It was one of the big guys that wrote it.
Chris Avellone should be involved in literally everything that ever happens.
But yeah, it's lauded as one of the finest of that genre. But I just can't do it.
Maybe
sort of gleefully, wonderfully weird. It's a kind of everything in the kitchen sink setting, steampunk, floating skulls, angels, demons.
Oh, mate.
Anything that's cool.
This is like the inside of my head, but a game. Sounds awesome.
And you start the game dead, I think, as well.
Good.
You wake up in the mortuary.
The best games start with you being dead. Didn't Dark Souls start with you being dead, didn't it?
Well, you get killed, yeah.
2 starts with you getting murdered. And, oh, by the way, you're a zombie for the rest of the game now. Have fun. But back on track.
Sorry.
X-Files trailer looks pretty cool. I'm getting excited for it. It's 2016, so it's not.
Gillian Anderson's got to do something now. They cancelled Hannibal.
Yeah, got to keep yourself busy. And How did Californication do? Did anyone watch it? Because I don't think anyone watched it.
What was it even about?
It was. I think it was a writer going through a midlife crisis.
Oh,
so pretty much David Duchovny, the documentary. But
sounds a bit like BoJack Horseman.
yes, it was pretty much a live action BoJack Horseman. Which, oh mate, if they could do some sort of crossover, I'd watch that. But so that looks pretty fun. Doctor Who is getting. I know we've spoken about Doctor Who like every podcast for the past 3 weeks.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's always more. Doctor Who's getting a spin-off, a new one, because obviously Sarah Jane Chronicles has ended, as has Sarah Jane quite sadly, and. What was the other one they did? Torchwood, of course. That was it. I knew there was another one in there.
That was clever because it was an anagram.
It was an anagram of Doctor Who. You so see what clever. They did there.
Anagrams are inherently clever.
Yeah, like Torchwood was good for a little while.
There were 5 good episodes.
Yeah,
surrounded by 3 series.
Yeah, just garbage.
Pure shit. Sadly.
Yeah. The problem I found with Torchwood is that they wanted to make a gritty adult Doctor Who spin-off. So they were like, look, we need to make the characters, have these character flaws so they look like real people. But they piled so many flaws on top of each other that you just didn't like any of them.
I think where they went wrong was saying we want to do a gritty adult spin-off of Doctor Who. Right, who are you going to cast? It's musical theatre star John Barrowman.
Yes, get John Barrowman in there. He's great. And he's just kind of a dick. And then he turns up in Doctor Who and he's really nice and charismatic. And it was the difference in tone between the two things.
It's like Captain Jack knows children might be watching. So.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'll be honest, the only character I liked from that was Yanto. Yanto Jones, what a man. What a man. But still, they're doing a Doctor Who spin-off called Coal Hill, based around the school where back in 1963, Susan Foreman, which was the Doctor's granddaughter, went to school, and now Clara works as a teacher. So they're going to do a Coal Hill thing. There's no word as of yet when it will be set, but that could be a thing in itself. I mean, they could technically set it at any given point. Or they could even, it's a time travel show. They could do it throughout things and have different Doctors crudely CGI'd in, because it wouldn't be the first time they've done that. So, you know what I've just thought, though? If they do it as a prequel to, season 8, what if they put Danny back in it? I don't want that, man.
No,
I don't want
nothing that would.
Danny Pink was the worst character that's ever happened to fiction.
Although, if you go back that far and set it in a school, you could have Michael Gove as the overarching villain.
Perfect. You're just standing there, issuing his orders, and it turns out the master. He's a regeneration of the master.
Joe, I've been so naive. Gove is Sumerian for master.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But still, Moffat is going to be doing executive producing, which instantly has me dubious, because Moffat has used all of his creativity. It's gone now. He is a desiccated husk of a man, and he needs to give the show to someone else. But
he's got new Sherlock coming still as well.
Yeah, we've got Victorian Sherlock to look forward to.
That's Christmas, isn't
it? Which I'm up for it. I like a bit of Sherlock. Season 3 was a bit so-so.
Yeah.
But again,
for the benefit of the ladies and gentlemen at home, I just waved my hands in the
a non-committal. Maybe. Yeah, but I mean, I know, Alex, you're a big Doctor Who fan, as am I. How are you finding season 9 so far?
I'm liking it. I know you said that you feel like Moffat's a bit played out, but he has just written a good Davros story.
He has.
Which sort of hasn't happened since the first Davros story.
Yes, yeah. I found that, because it was a 2-parter, episodes 1 and 2, and part 1 without part 2 was awful. I really didn't like the first, because effectively nothing happened. And then the second episode made the first one better in retrospect. But this was what we were talking about on last week's podcast, how effectively the Daleks were defeated by Dalek poo getting regeneration powers. It was an unusual way to end the episode, but I mean, I keep saying they need to just do a show of the Master and just have Michelle Gomez just going around, just wrecking everyone's shit throughout the galaxy, because I would watch that.
I'd pay money for a multi-Master story.
Yeah.
had multi-Doctor stories, but
have because if the Doctor can do it, surely that's the thing that Time Lords in general can do.
Gomez and John Sim.
Oh my God, could you? The fandom would implode. But I mean, I'm still waiting for something to do with the Corsair. I want to get the Corsair on screen, man, because the Corsair is the coolest Time Lord that we've never seen. So, although I think technically they said that he was a character who was like a minor part in a Sarah Jane episode.
Really?
In one of the Sarah Jane adventures, there was like some guy who ran a shop, and he was like this black guy with a little parrot, and the showrunners were like, in my head, that is the Corsair. And I was like, all right, fair enough. Corsair's so cool. He's like a mercenary Time Lord who likes pirates, and so he made his TARDIS look like a galleon that floats through space. It's pretty much all I've ever wanted and more. But yeah, so who knows? Dr. Colehill might be good. It's probably going to be, again, more kid-friendly. It'll probably be a little more Sarah Jane-y in tone. I don't imagine.
Say if it's BBC Three or anything like that as well.
They did say it was BBC Three, so
the channel
I guess that means it'll be online.
Yeah, so it's like, we'll put it on there, and if it's not good, oh well.
I think they said in the press release that it's for teenagers, which seems like kind of a weird choice, because Doctor Who feels like it's quite for teenagers at the moment.
Yes.
Like a few years ago, it felt like it was skewed between like 8-year-olds and parents, and there was something for everything something for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
And now it feels a bit more kind of like
it's too dark for the little ones, but it's not dark enough for us, which is who it should be for. There was a thing, I was watching something the other day. It was a video gamer video, and Steve Burns said probably the most true thing I've ever heard, which is Doctor Who fans hate Doctor Who more than anyone else. And it's like, that is true. Like, I only hate it because I care so much. Yeah.
But I think recently I've decided I can't be a Doctor Who fan because I don't spend enough time online telling other people how terrible it is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's been a long time since I composed a 200,000-word essay explaining why everyone involved in it should be put to death.
Yeah, that's it. I'll be honest, I send out a 140-character essay every episode. Every episode comes out, I'm like, that's a piece of shit. Go away off that. But yes, things. There's probably a segue in here somewhere about stories. I can't be asked. Patrick Rothfus, the author of the Kingkiller series, Name of the Wind, and the
Slow Regard of Silent Things.
Yeah, the other ones. I'm sure there's one that has a shadow involved in it. I might have made that up. Patrick Rothfus, famous fantasy author. He's getting a TV show game thing, you said.
Lionsgate, yeah.
Oh, safe.
Doing
Lionsgate
TV
involved.
shows, films, and video games based on his series of books.
Mining the universe for it, which is good because, I mean, this is the thing we were talking about before we started recording. I know of Patrick Rothfuss through the Penny Arcade D&D games they do, the Acquisitions Incorporated stuff. But I've never got around to reading the Kingkiller books. Alex, you have read the books, and you have heartily recommended them.
They are extremely good.
Excellent. Because I always look at them, and I think, is he just a little bit too arty-farty, flouncy swordsman for my liking? I like a good Joe Abercrombie, brutal bleakness to it, and it's always looked a little too, I don't know, sort of swashbuckly.
Well, I mean, it starts with the main character as a child having his family and everyone he knows brutally murdered by like weird supernatural devil creatures. So it may be more up your alley than you suspect.
I see. Now we're talking. Yeah, no, I like a good. My fantasy books have to be bleak. I like my Song of Ice and Fire, my First Law Saga, all for that. Just anything that you get to the end of a chapter and you have to take a sit down. You have to really think about your life.
Yep, that happens.
I mean, I'm intrigued in seeing it. I wonder if they'll cast it. It's Quoth,
I think.
Quoth. There's a V in it because he's awkward like that. But yeah, I wonder if they're going to cast.
Was he quite a young guy in the book?
Yes.
All right.
He's supposed to be. I know he's got bright red hair. They always go on about how
Ed Sheeran.
Get him in there. Get Damien Lewis on it.
Yeah.
Because he's popular to be playing everyone now.
Ron Weasley.
Wow,
Rupert Grint.
That's
Rupert Grint.
that. Oh God, no. I mean, sorry if you're listening, Rupert Grint.
Rupert Grint. If you are a fan of the show, please tell your friends. Please like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see it because I think it's a case they're running out of Game of Thrones now, aren't they? So they're finding other fantasy things to mine.
Well, apparently his books are like second on that fantasy chart of sales and popularity and whatever. So it's pretty big.
I do hope one day they do the first lore stuff, but it'd have to be in the same vein as Game of Thrones because it's so bleak. Like, it makes Game of Thrones look like a nursery rhyme. There's some really dark stuff in there. But
once you've read a couple, you start to be suspicious of any good thing that happens. Any point that looks like a character might be redeemed, you just know is setting them up to have something absolutely appalling.
You're like, it's 3 chapters from now, I will be weeping.
I finished True Detective season 2 last night, and it has that exact feeling. Well, you know, it's the bleakest noir thing in the world, and they've had great success in one moment.
And
just
you're
setting them up for the most tremendous fall in the world.
There's a bit towards the end of the last book in his most recent trilogy, the Broken Sea, I think it's called.
Oh yes.
Where you can see him setting up. There's a duel, and he's setting up like a thing you recognise as a proper fantasy adventure trope with like a special weapon that's been made by someone, and it's got a lot of sort of sentimental value invested in it. It's given to the person who's going to fight the duel. And in any other book, you go, and that's how they're going to win. And this, you go, oh, fuck me, no.
Yeah, right. He is going to get impaled on his own sword, and then the sword is going to be defecated on. Maybe not in that order. But yeah, so that should be interesting.
It'll be interesting to see what route they go for the games as well.
Yeah,
I think
it won't be a shitty mobile game.
Oh god.
I was going to say, I think I'd be more hopeful about this whole thing if there were good games that had been adapted from things before.
Yeah, because let's not take the Game of Thrones game as an example, because oh dear god, that was bad. I mean, I haven't played the Telltale one. They might go down that route.
The Telltale one is really good.
Well, there you go. So they might go down a storytelling route.
That's because that's what Game of Thrones is. It's all backstabbing and politicking and
and it's like that doesn't really lend itself to a
and they do an action RPG about it.
So, I'll tell you what I would like to see. Get a sort of Name of the Wind style Divinity game. Get isolinear RPG going. Love that.
Yes.
Because the world needs more isolinear RPGs.
We're getting one next year. Divinity 2.
Yeah, Divinity 2. Also, did you see they've hit enough funding? They made like 2 million or something. They've hit enough funding to do a Dungeon Master mode. So you can do 4v1. So, oh god, it's going to be so good. Yes, moving on. Oh god. I've just read the 2 words Wathcmen series, and I'm instantly sad.
I don't know if it's actually happening.
Yeah, I know.
The story was Zack Snyder pitched it to HBO.
Yeah,
and how far they've got, I don't know.
Could you even imagine how awful that would be? So, I mean, is it going to be like a adaptation of the original book, or is it going to be a spin-off, or? God forbid it should be before Wathcmen, because that was a car crash. That was just them phoning it in, wasn't it? But
there's a number. Yeah, there's like different points they could pick it up from. They could like adapt it from the comic book, or follow it from the comic book, or follow it from the film. Yeah, which like diverged at points.
Which I thought the ending of the film was better than the ending of the comic book.
Yeah.
I far preferred the whole Manhattan twist to the weird squid thing, because that. I even remember when I was first reading the comic and I got to that point and I was like, I see, weird squid thing. But no, the film made a lot more sense. And I really like the Wathcmen film.
Yeah.
It's Zack Snyder, so it was slow motion punching. And he loves slow motion punching.
He does love his slow motion punching.
It's his favourite thing.
There's a lot of slow motion punching in Sucker Punch.
Yeah, oh god.
It's practically the title.
Yeah, I love Sucker Punch. That's a very divisive film.
I didn't like Sucker Punch.
Because you didn't like Sucker Punch, and I thought it was beautiful. Like, I mean, story-wise, you can pretty much break it down in 2 sentences, but the spectacle of it's like visually an amazing film.
I mean, I've read a lot about it because people argue about Sucker Punch all the time.
It's
in the classic, it's misogynist. It's not misogynist. What is it?
Yeah.
And people argue the point online forever
For just infinity. Yeah.
So. I guess it's an interesting film to discuss, but I didn't really enjoy it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it as films go. It's got Emily Browning in it, and she's lovely. She was a legend. She was in the new Loon Legend.
I've not seen it, so just definitively, misogynist or not? Can we get a yes? No.
No, we can't.
We can't.
Not even here in this room.
I mean, obviously, we are not in a solid position to say not being women. But I didn't watch it thinking, oh, this is towing the line. If anything, I was like, oh, these girls are fighting back and being badasses. I thought this is empowering.
Yeah.
And
that is the argument some people take. Whereas other people take, they're doing sexy dances and fighting people in schoolgirl outfits. So maybe it is.
Yeah. That's it.
But then apparently that was the point Zack Snyder was trying to make, and it's all about the male gaze, and we're going deep down a rabbit hole now.
Very meta.
Yeah. So who knows?
But then that man in charge of a Watchmen series, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing something after Watchmen, like just as a how does the world cope with the whole theoretical world peace and what's going to happen after? Are they then going to take real life events and twist them again? Because that's, I mean, the only dividing moment in the comic from real life is Dr. Manhattan. It was what would happen if a god was on the Earth during that time period, and that's where the entire story comes out of. It all escalates from that. So it might be interesting, but I don't know. It's one of those things I do think just leave it alone. Just leave it be. It's those classic source material. Other things that should be left be. Right, here we go. Ridley Scott. God damn it.
A weekly Ridley Scott update.
Oh my God, right. So,
what's he done this time?
Oh, Ridley. Not content with upsetting everyone by saying he's doing 3 more Prometheus films. He's said that the Blade Runner sequel that he's working on is going to be more than one film.
Yeah.
So we're going to get more Blade. We're going to get several Blade Runner sequels.
Chatting to someone, I think it was Yahoo.
Good.
And they were talking about Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And he said, Harrison Ford's in, because he said no initially, and then he read the script and said it was one of the best scripts I've ever seen in my life, so he agreed to do it.
You know,
and then Ryan Gosling's coming on for some reason. And the quote in the interview was that Ryan Gosling will continue the franchise going forward. So he's envisioning it as a franchise, which is so worrying.
It's really concerning, considering how his idea of franchises has gone thus far. Like, what if I took my classic film Alien and made a franchise of this? Here's Prometheus, everyone.
I think I'd rather see a second Watchmen film, like catching up with the world some years on after with that State of Quo, and then State of Quo. I can't talk. I beg your pardon. And then a Blade Runner TV series. Like a neon rain-soaked, noir-y detective series set in that world,
but nothing to do with the original characters.
No, not at all. But you can just you can take that setting and
that setting is. Yeah. I mean, I do consider Blade Runner to be the most beautiful film ever made. The cinematography in that film, it was Jordan Cronenweth, I think, was the DP on that, and it's just like the most gorgeous film ever made. And so I'm intrigued to see it from, like a filmmaking enthusiast's standpoint, but from a story standpoint,
By the way, Deckard's a replicant. Ridley Scott's confirmed it.
But how's he old now? Or is it CGI?
See, that's why it's such bullshit.
Is it going to be CGI Harrison Ford? Are they going to do a Tron Legacy on him?
Probably.
And have him...
It's like, of course he's a replicant. And the thing is, Ryan Gosling hunting him. I think that's the log line.
So it's The Fugitive. They're doing The Fugitive again.
but in reverse.
Yeah.
In the right way. Tony Jones has been replaced by
Ryan Gosling. If only you could do that with all films. Just replace Tommy Lee Jones as Ryan Gosling.
Except in Men in Black.
Yes. Because obviously if you then went back in time in Men in Black 3, like Agent K would be a baby. So there you go. A baby in a tiny black suit.
Brolin nailed young
Oh my
Tommy
god,
Jones.
Josh Brolin's so good. Josh Brolin's another one who should be in all films.
Josh Brolin should hunt Harrison Ford and Blade Runner 2.
That I'd watch. Josh Brolin could do a really good like cyber noir feel. Gosling, I'm not sure. I think it's literally he's watched Drive and
he's
gone.
Going to be the Drive man.
Yeah, it's going to be the Drive man.
He doesn't even have a name in Drive.
No,
it's the Driver.
The Driver, which I'm all for actually. I quite like films where they don't bother naming main characters because sometimes you don't need to.
No,
you just don't need to. But still, films that aren't going to be terrible. Spectre, the final trailer for Spectre's come out with a couple of extra bits and bobs. I'm looking forward to it. It's not long now, is it?
I think it's November the 7th.
No, not far off then.
Or October.
I think it's October.
I think the trailer was American then.
So we're not.
We're getting it before America.
We are, yeah.
So we're getting it in October.
God save the Queen, yeah. So yeah, I think it was like, if memory serves, I think it was around the same sort of time as the Guild Wars expansion. Because I think that's the 23rd.
That's going to be a great week.
Oh, it's going to be so good. But so a new Spectre trailer with even more obvious Blofeld, increasingly obvious Blofeld.
Yeah, they have a bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
Bond, him asking Bond why he came. Yeah. He's like, I came here to kill you. I thought you came here to die.
It's just... Oh, he's going to be...
And there's him fighting...
Dave Bautista?
Yes, Dave Bautista.
Is Dave Bautista going to do a Bautista bomb?
Probably. He was punching him pretty hard.
My favourite thing in films is when a wrestler turns up in films and they do a wrestling move. Just really out of place. Like, there was a bit in one of The Mummy. It was either in the Scorpion King solo movie or in The Mummy 3, or whichever one it was. No, it was the second one that had the Scorpion King, wasn't it? I don't know. Whichever Mummy film had the Scorpion King in it.
It was probably a standalone, because the Scorpion King in the Mummy film was a bit of prologue and then horrible CGI monster.
Yeah. So I remember there being a bit where he like just does a rock bottom on someone, and it's like because that happened he was on an episode of Voyager as well. The Rock.
I was reading about that just the other day. I don't know why. I get very bored at work and look up episodes of Star Trek Voyager.
We've all been there. He played like a gladiator that had to, because 7 of 9 got put into a gladiator pit and she ended up fighting The Rock, and he did a rock bottom on her because The Rock only does rock bottoms apparently. But I mean, occasionally wrestlers can be in good films. It does happen. Batista was in Guardians, that's fine. And controversially, I still liked The Condemned with Steve Austin in it, which I know...
What about The Marine?
Oh, The Marine with John Cena. The Marine was shit. Oh, that film. That was a bad film. They're still making them. They're on like the Marine 5 now, and it's got bloody... they just keep putting different wrestlers in it, and it's like he's a different Marine, and he's also out for vengeance.
I want to see Finn Balor in the Marine.
Oh, I want to see Finn Balor in all the stuff. Just Finn Balor forever. Just his music plays wherever he goes. Has the best theme. Apart from maybe Seth Rollins.
Maybe.
Who has the super best theme. But, at the moment, bloody The Miz is in, like, he's terrible. He's a terrible, terrible wrestler and a terrible, terrible person. And he's also in a film that I'm not going to watch. But still, Batista, I mean, he's proven himself. He's all right. Mm. Also, he was in that Tarantino-produced thing, wasn't he? Man with the Golden Fists, which was a pretty good film. Oh. It was like this film that it seemed to pop out just like direct-to-DVD kind of thing, and it was written and directed by RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, RZA, as he goes by.
Is this made up?
No, I'm not.
It sounds like you've taken some names out of a hat and had to string them together.
Yeah, no, it was actually a fever dream. Yeah, no, it was
starring Queen Victoria.
Yeah, it was, mate. It's weirder than that. Because so it's. You're gonna think I'm making it up. So written and directed by RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, who also stars alongside Russell Crowe, Lucy Liu, and Dave Bautista.
Yeah, this is a lie. And this is transparently a lie.
And produced by Quentin Tarantino. And it was actually a pretty good film. I really liked it. It was standard sort of Tarantino-esque hyper-violent nonsense, but it was one of those ones where the setting is really nondescript and weird. Like it was like feudal Japan, but also there was like a cowboy who was British, who was Russell Crowe, and then
famous New Zealander Russell Crowe.
Yeah, and then his character was pretty cool. He was like a bounty hunter who had a gun with a saw in it, like a revolver with a saw blade, and he was
like from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, and he was like super suave, and he was like, "Oh yes, quite so, chin chin," and then he'd shoot someone. Granted, now I'm saying it might have been a fever dream, but if memory serves, it was a very good film.
I don't know if I want to watch it. I don't know if I need to watch it. I'm just going to imagine it from time to time and be really happy.
Just imagine all the components of it and be like, yes, I can see this being good. But yeah, so Batista knows what he's doing.
And
also, he was basically Colossus. Bond looks good was the point of that.
That's where we started.
Where we go. So, video games are a thing. Tell me about Soma.
Soma. It's the new one from Frictional Games.
Yes.
The guys that did scary horror games, Amnesia.
That game was too scary. I played it for 10 minutes. No, I probably played it for about half an hour and then I uninstalled it. I played it until I got to the first monster and I was like, nah, you're alright. Uninstall. Yeah. No, thank you.
Soma is not as scary.
Okay.
But it's still scary.
That's fine. Because
you're some bloke who goes in for a brain scan because you've been in this horrific accident which has done something to you.
Yeah.
And then the brain scan happens and you wake up in an underwater facility where things have all gone a bit wrong.
Good.
It's not Bioshock.
Not Bioshock.
Don't you say anything.
Okay.
That's got these weird sentient robot things that are trying to murder you for some reason.
It's not Bioshock.
It's not Bioshock.
Right. Okay.
There's an
Irish man.
There's an Irish
Would you
man.
kindly not be Bioshock? Cool.
But yeah, you kind of wander around this seemingly derelict underwater research place.
Cool.
And find out what the hell's going on.
Do you find out what's going on by listening to recordings that people have left everywhere?
Yes.
Awesome.
And you also have this woman called Catherine.
Is she Irish?
No, she's not Irish.
Okay.
Her consciousness has been put into a machine.
Right.
And then you extract that and take her around with you on a little...
Well, that's just Portal. Yeah, I was going to say that's Portal 2. We've had that.
Is she in a potato?
Not yet.
Can she be? Is that DLC?
I don't think there are any potatoes under there. But yeah, it's that same sort of mix of exploring a creepy place where noises are happening in the background that scare you.
Walking simulator plus horror.
And then sometimes there's a monster that you need to avoid.
Cool. I like that.
It's a bit weird.
I do like a good monster avoiding game. The only problem I found, the only two that I've dabbled with being Amnesia, which is too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. I don't do well with scary games. All right, that's not my jam. So I was like, no, I'm out. And then Alien Isolation, which was just the alien mechanics were just a little bit broken because it was like the alien would leave the room and then you'd get out of your cupboard and then the alien would be like, I'm back in the room. I was like, God damn it. So, yeah.
No, there's no like aliens to jump out of vents.
Yeah.
But you can tell when the robots are coming. The screen goes all weird.
Okay.
And you can hear them muttering
Slender
nonsense.
Man style.
Yeah. There was one good bit that pretty much explains the whole game.
Yeah.
You're in a monorail under the sea,
travelling
to a place.
Always a monorail.
And it crashes because video games.
Cool.
And so you get out of this thing and you walk up and go up a maintenance hatch.
Yeah.
And at the top of the maintenance hatch, there's a thing you need to scan with your Omnitool.
Yeah.
Shit, I left the Omnitool back in the fucking subway. So you go back and it's this long corridor and you can kind of see a thing at the end of the corridor. And you get closer and the screen kind of goes...
And it's like, I don't want this.
No, run away.
Right.
Hide in a vent and then you see it just kind of march past you.
I hate that. It's scary.
It's scary, but it's also really good.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't do Amnesia.
I'm enjoying it. Although I've hit a point now where the game keeps crashing.
Cool.
So hopefully I can fix that.
Is that part of it?
I think that's probably just the end of the game. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's like, we couldn't be asked to program anything.
The terror has crashed it.
Yeah.
You're so scared you can't even play it anymore.
Is the bit before you have the brain scan connected to the weirdness that happens after? Is it in the underwater facility?
So.
Or?
No, the brain scan thing is in the real world modern day. You start waking up in bed in Calgary or something in Canada. And you go and have this brain scan.
That is the real horror.
The thing with the brain scan is it's in this weird, not built surgery. So it's just a building with all this technology, and he's like, "Here, I'm doing my PhD." I imagine it to be like Mark.
Yeah, that's probably how he got his.
He has all these like computer banks, and you sit in a chair, and he does the brain scan, and you wake up in the scary facility.
Is it possibly one of the games that's set in a coma?
Possibly, yeah.
Awesome.
But I've not got far enough. I think I'm about a quarter of the way through.
It's all right. Give it time.
But I've been intrigued enough to continue with it. Hopefully, once I get past this horrible crash.
Yeah, once it's stopped breaking, it should be all right.
Fun.
Yeah, and there's another game that's come out recently, which is Beginner's Guide, which I don't think we've played.
No one's played.
We haven't played yet.
I've got it. I downloaded it. It's on my computer, and then I had a bath. So I could review the bath if you like.
Yeah, just a 3-hour review. I expect it written up and scored.
7 out of 10?
Yes. 7 out of 10. Not enough water.
Paid off by Radox.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been watching a couple of like reviews and things of it. And what the overall theme is that you can't really review it because it's a very personal experience. They said it's the sort of thing that the game very much reflects. It's made for creative people. So it's made for people who make stuff, which is us. And apparently, as you play it, it calls up some very, very close to home points that are sometimes quite uncomfortable. And it's been said that it's a game that if you're going in expecting it will be because it's the Stanley Parable guys, isn't it? So if you're going in expecting is that it'll be a funny little romp through a puzzle game. It's more if you're going in looking for fun. There are fun elements, but there are also elements that are not fun. But that's part of the experience. It's aiming to not. It's aiming to make you question your life choices. Yeah, great. Which
cool.
You know, for that. games is art. Games is art, so that makes sense.
But can't all be shooting like Nazis.
No. Which, tell that to the guys at Wolfenstein, because the dev team have been shooting Nazis since
time began,
since the dawn of man. But yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued to try it out.
I will get around to it at some point.
Yeah, obviously I have to have a working computer for that to be a thing, but all in good time. Getting there. This is Broken Games. Let's end on a light note. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 has been doing the rounds, and it is a horribly broken mess.
Yes.
Tony Hawk's games haven't been fun since a long time ago. 2,
maybe 3 at
push. like there were 1 or 2 games that came a bit later in the series that were okay. I remember there was one that was pretty fun. I forget what it was called, but it was one where there were like all the group of skaters split into 2 teams, and there was Tony Hawk's team and Bam Margera's team, and it was like they had to do challenges against each other, and people got eliminated by they had those machines that fire tennis balls. It was one of them, and they all stood in a circle and span it round, and whichever one it shot with a tennis ball had to leave, and Bob Burnquist got hit in the nuts. This is my memory of this game, and I remember that one being pretty fun. But since Skate came out, everyone went, well, if you're going to play a skating game, you play Skate, because it's just better in every conceivable way. Skate 3 still being the best skating game probably ever made. And so they've gone, we're going back to basics. We've done with our plastic peripheral ride technology, because that was...
Did they actually do that?
They did that.
They did it twice, I think.
There are 2 games
where
you get a plastic skateboard and you stand on it in your living room, because what people want when they want to play a skateboarding game is to skateboard and not move. So they have to stand on the board, and when you wipe your foot on the floor past it, like you're pushing, the little sensor goes, he's pushing, and you move forward. But
they're saying that they sold you an exercise board.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
this is when Guitar Hero and Rock Band were big, and plastic peripherals were like the thing.
Peripherals are the way to go.
But not a plastic skateboard.
But it was on rails. It was like a rail shooter version of a skating game. So you went around on a preordained course, and it was like you're coming up to a jump, and you had to like lean back on the skateboard, and you would do an ollie, and it was a complete mess. Yeah. How far you've fallen. But yeah, and so they've gone, no, we're going back to basics. We're going back and basically going to remake the old games, but with that new look. and it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No.
It looks bad.
I've seen people falling through the world geometry.
Yeah, apparently the guys at Polygon discovered that if you hold that, because first off they've put in a function where the button you use to grind is also the button you use to do like a Super Mario style butt stomp. So you can jump, and if you press the button, you immediately slam back down to the ground. But because that's the button you need to grind, you miss your grind every time because you jump, and as you're about to get to the rail, you just slam into the floor and then hit the rail and fall off. So if you can then get around that, when you go up off a ramp, off a half pipe, if you do a grab and you hold the grab and then hit the slam button, you clip straight through the world geometry and fall into nothingness. And apparently that is a consistent thing. So if you grab and slam, you stop applying the laws of physics.
Nice.
And also you can play as Lil Wayne. That famous skateboarder, Lil Wayne. Also, it made me feel pretty old because I looked at the roster of skateboarders and I have no idea who any of you people are. Like, Tony Hawk's in it.
Of course.
Cool. I know Lil Wayne, but he's not a skateboarder.
Is Tony Hawk's now like the Gary Lineker of skateboarding?
He is.
Probably. I've seen him doing a crisp advert next.
Yeah, I would watch that. Tony Hawk doing 900s on crisps.
So, is this a bad game,
yes,
or an acceptable game that has been released in a shoddy state? Can it be fixed, or even if they fix the bugs, will it still be shit?
Yeah.
So I think what came out of this was that their license to Tony Hawk was expiring at the end of this year.
So they had to
so they probably rushed it.
Oh, it's the contractually obliged Tony Hawk's game.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had to get it out pronto, and they've not fixed everything.
Yeah, and hopefully they're going to patch it. But at the same time, does anyone care? Does anyone want a new Tony Hawk's game? If I wanted to,
I'd go back and play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 and be happy with my life.
You go and play the one where you can play Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's the best one.
And listen to Superman.
Yes. Just listen to like Goldfinger all day long. The Tony Hawk soundtracks were just so good. My entire musical taste was built off those games. Just generally extreme sports games. All of the bands I liked came off of those things. I remember I first got into ska music from playing Targ Chris's Aggressive Inline, and it had Real Big Fish's Sellout on the soundtrack, and I was like, "It's the best game ever." But yeah, there was, and I remember Matt Hoffman's BMX.
Oh yeah,
played a lot of that. That had NERD on it. It was always good.
Nice.
Back when Pharrell wasn't a massive sellout.
With silly hats.
Didn't wear silly hats. The glory days of rock and roll.
Apparently they've finally fixed Batman on PC as well.
Oh, have they?
Yes. It's like fixed for the end of this month.
Yeah. They're gonna release it now.
This is the thing, because I was away somewhere. I forget where I was, but I was away somewhere when the game officially came out. And so I was like, I'm not going to buy it right now. I didn't pre-order it or anything. Because I'd been burnt on Origins not working on PC. So I was like, I'm going to wait for them to release it and see if it works. And then, of course, it didn't work so badly that they completely got rid of it. And now it's too long after the fact. I don't really fancy
it's
playing.
Like 3 months now.
Yeah, and all of the spoilers have been spoiled because YouTubers are the worst people. And
the identity of the Arkham Knight has turned out to be the person that everyone thought it was
all
along. So.
When they were like, "Oh, we've invented a completely new villain," and we're like, "Have you?" And they're like, "Yes, completely new villain." It's like, so that completely new villain is the same villain that is in the comics. That's completely new because you gave him a slight outfit change.
He's got a new hat, completely new.
Yeah, we changed the colour of the helmet from red to grey. Whoa. I'd love to have been in that creative meeting. It was 5 to 5 on a Friday, and they're like, "Right, we've got to do a villain. Fuck it, just use one of the ones and tell them we made up." Just ugh. But yeah, so that's probably about the gist of our adventures for this week. New episode on Wednesday, I presume, if you're free enough.
That should be.
Do some filming. You got like a million work to do.
I do.
It's fine. Really and then we have to watch the NFL. So.
There's a game in the UK this week.
There is. It's on now. It literally just started.
Oh shit!
Not to date the recording of this, but yeah, it's 2:30 on Saturday. It started just now. Jets versus Dolphins. So
Oh, come on, Dolphins! I've
Yeah.
got them on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I think I've got someone from the Jets on my fantasy
Like
team.
LaShawn Williams or something.
I'll destroy you. Yeah, it's I'm getting spanked at fantasy at the moment. We're doing a fantasy American football, and last week I got completely bent over the barrel because my quarterback was like, "It's great." It was Ben Roethlisberger for any American football fans, and he's like, "Yeah, he's getting me all these points," and then. Like in the second quarter, his knee he stepped on a landmine or something. His knee just exploded. And now he's out for 6 weeks. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch! So
that's what can happen in American football.
Yeah.
People just burst.
People just pop. It's pretty grim. But yes, so that should about do it. Episode on Wednesday. Feel free to share things around. If you want to find some more stuff from our good friend here, Alex Watts. You're on Twitter.
I am. I'm on the Twitters as @AlexWatts ESQ for Esquire because I was a bit of a tit when I joined Twitter. I beg your pardon.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
But it's the brand now. So.
That's it. You've got to keep the branding, man. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.